Greetings, adventurers! We appreciate you putting up with the brief nature of last month's episode, Meet the Rogue, and the extra time needed to release this one. I believe it more than makes up for any perceived delay with its length and the extensive cast list. We also got to record the orchestra and choir with Hitoshi Sakamoto in our now-released album, Season of the All-Shadow, available wherever music is found. So, prepare to finally reach a populated city on Dark Dice. But before that, a number of questions have been posted online with all manner of wild theories surrounding our team's threshold of stress damage and the extent of their delusions. So, I'd like to safely let you know that the interactions they have had with outsiders are, at least generally accurate. This is our final episode before jumping back to Team A for a while, and we hope that you enjoy the start of a much larger conspiracy.
Shalis de pace. Salis.
Do you seek him?
Do you seek him?
Do you seek him?
Do you seek him?
Do you seek the nameless god?
You have found yourself among those who roll the dark dice. What you are about to hear happened long ago. A story brought back from the edge of oblivion, dutifully transcribed and enhanced orally to better captivate your attention. Previously, a team of adventurers celebrated the young boy's coming of age. With their side quest concluded, they continued their journey to track down Soren's murderers.
Dark Dice, The Long Road, Chapter 10, Conspiracy.
The lingering effects of the event's festivities remained with the team late into the following morning, as Ildrex and Soren awoke alone within their room at the Riverside Inn. Briefly panicked, they spent the following 10 minutes searching for Gaelle and Glom, who had apparently ended up in the wrong beds, but for the right reasons. After a hearty breakfast, they could think of no further excuse to delay leaving the warmth of the hearth, departing the following hour, still slightly hungover and 7 days' walk from Audin. It had snowed during the boys' birthday celebrations, and a number of snowfolk, that is to say anatomically correct snowmen, snowwomen, a snow dwarf endowed with more than enough of everything, a snow scaleskin, snow dragons, and a charming snow elf with 3 eyes, awaited the team outdoors, frozen in a bitter diorama of battle. The chilling winds generally subsided after the first hour, thankfully making travel less treacherous for the team as they followed the gray-skinned hunter through those white plains and forests. This weather held for the first day, which was free of incident, but cost the team 3 days of trail rations.
We only had one, between all of us. I think we talked this over last night, in-game. That was like 3 months ago in real time, but we totally forgot to buy more. All right, maybe we just blame it on our hangovers.
Soren Arkwright, the team's steadfast hunter, required a survival check.
So that would be a 20.
Actually, the team did not require the consumption of their single trail ration, as Soren's adept skills as a hunter led the team to an abundance of late winter berries and small game that would keep their stomachs satisfied, though most of the food lacked flavor.
It's about time I pulled my weight around here.
It's delicious. Delicious.
Only Ildrex Mystan, the humble and optimistic scaleskin, wanderer and follower of Ajinder, the dragon god, the god of will, could say that about the assorted collection that they reluctantly called dinner. But all the same, the team's stomachs were full.
So Glom is finally out of his hangover. Ildrex, I think we need to talk about that word.
Yeah, the word.
Because pineapple. I think we've used it too much.
Okay, yeah, they're on to us. I get it.
We need a word where we say it and we know that we're us.
Okay, do you have suggestions, good friend Glom?
Nothing to do with clowns.
I mean, we would know really well that was us, obviously, because of how great we are at being clowns.
Not talking about the clowns.
Okay, yeah, fair. How about stewed porcupine?
All right, that'll work.
Okay, good for now.
The following 3 days of travel through the Bright Vale were, from the perspective of those involved, relatively uneventful. The team quietly snuck past a hunting party of giants later in the first evening before setting up their camp, and in the 2 days following, they passed through the small villages that dotted the mountainous roads to Zaltstadt. getting remarkably good haircuts and a tooth filling from a snake oil selling barber surgeon named Whitaker, and going on a brief shopping spree led by Gaelle and Glom, who insisted that the team restock on arrows, eyeliner, alcohol, and moisturizer.
One can never have too much eyeliner.
They all felt an unsettling shift somewhere on the road north of Zaltstadt the following day, as the very winds of magic, which were often described as a low, subtle hum, like wind through the leaves, seemed to now whisper hissed curses through the trees and broken farming equipment they passed along the ice-encrusted rocky tundra between Zaltstadt and Audin. The weather took a turn for the worse, slowing the team's travel, and they only found food that night because they came across a small merchant wagon that had frozen to death the previous evening, presumably stalling after their axle shattered and failing to start a campfire. The ground had frozen, making any kind of funeral impossible, though it didn't stop Glom from covering the bodies with snow and saying a few words in a makeshift funeral. Late into the following afternoon, Soren hissed at the team to lay in wait beside the road as a shadow of a dragon silently flew overhead. And it wasn't until the following day, in the early morning, that the team found their next encounter, a quartet of armored soldiers seemingly headed in the same direction.
So they must be moving slow, because I don't think we're very fast moving.
Oh, we're making quite good time, I assure you.
Okay. Can we see any symbols on them?
Not that I can see from here. Do we want to overtake them quietly, or...
Do we see any reason to think that they might attack us unprovoked?
I don't think we've seen these men in our entire lives. And I suspect, if we want, no one will ever see them again, either. But maybe let's try talking to them first, huh?
I'm okay with it if everybody else is.
I don't trust people.
I know.
With their keen perception, and because they knew what to look for, Soren, Glom, and Gaelle had no difficulty attributing their orange and tan tabards to the Frontier Division, the rugged scouts and defenders of the Bright Vale.
They look normal enough to me. I think one of them's even got a hell shield symbol on their shoulder.
Hold up. Hold. Is anyone else seeing what I'm seeing?
No.
Now that you mention it, these soldiers, they don't... Right. Does that armour look like generally the wrong size for them? And I think that one's got a blood stain on the back of their tabard they couldn't quite wash out.
Yeah, it looks like it's been maybe stolen.
In which case, if you're right, they've stolen the armour, which means they're not soldiers. Could they still be trained fighters, though?
I don't know. They might be bandits pretending to be soldiers. Why would one of them impersonate a hell shield?
They're out of shape, whoever they are.
So Glom starts pulling out his bow and readying it.
As the team made their way closer to the soldiers, or perhaps bandits, a sudden crunch of ice beneath Glom's boot caught the attention of the figures, who turned around quickly, drawing weapons. But the leader of their number, a bearded man with an eye patch, put his hands up in a disarming motion, urging those around him to lower their weapons.
There's no need for violence. Not today.
Good to know, but we'll be the deciders of that, sir.
Well, it might be nice to try our other options first before resorting to the bow and the blade.
Ildrex?
Glom, let's just see how this goes first.
Both groups cautiously walked closer, still on edge, hands near hilts and bows, but no longer knocked. Tension seemed to cut through the foggy air, and from this distance, the team could better see the ill-fitted nature of the clothing that those ahead wore. Their leader's greasy braided hair and uneven patchy beard framed a scarred face that blew white puffs of warm air with each syllable. Something was certainly off about the man to Ildrex, but it wasn't clear just what.
Well, my travelers, I am Sir Vinkint of the Frontier Division. And you are?
Sir Vinkint. I am Ildrex, and these are my traveling companions, Soren, Gaelle, and Glom. Where are you headed this day?
We are on our way to Audin to make preparations. Official business, but also religious. They too often go hand in hand, don't you think?
The man's posture suddenly shifted from a nervous slouch to full height, almost as if he'd become a different creature altogether in that sentence.
I apologize. It has been some time since we have seen anyone on this road. But we are in a good mood, so we will not charge you the toll for walking the King's Road.
Oh, how kind of you.
We know.
It's their eyes.
What?
Their eyes. Look, like the farmer. They have that golden, feral look, like the eyes of an animal in the woods glinting off torchlight.
Holy shit, that's creepy. You're right. So, what's got you all in such a good mood today?
The Bell of Bone has tolled twice. He has come, Ildrex.
So, it looks like you may have been traveling for quite some time. You're probably just as exhausted as we are. Where are you traveling from?
We recently killed a group of bandits in a cave a few days from here. They were troubling the locals, and we were tasked to bring trouble to them. Now they are no more, but this deed is now rendered meaningless with his incarnation.
And you said you were heading to Audin.
Yes.
Yes.
We could escort you there, the more the merrier, and we would encounter less difficulty on our way.
I'm sorry. What was your name again, good sir?
Sir Vinkint.
Sir Vinkint. Let me just convene with my traveling mates here, and give us just a brief moment.
Take as long as you need. He was given flesh and walks among us.
And I go back and join the group.
So, they seem sketchy at best.
Glom doesn't take his eyes off them in case they say anything to each other or move.
They're all just staring at us blankly with those creepy eyes.
God, it's unsettling.
So we have a couple options. We can bid them adieu and carry on our way. I think we can outpace them reasonably well, but that could entail a battle, which I'm not a huge fan of.
I appreciate that about you, Ildrex.
Did they say where they came from?
They said they slayed some bandits and started talking about some really weird religious stuff that didn't make sense, and it's not checking out. But they're heading to Audin, and as you heard, they have offered us to not pay the toll and to potentially escort us there.
I see. So they're collecting a toll? It sounds like they're bandits to me.
It does, but they're really off.
The team collectively passed their sanity saving throws, but it did little to reduce the fear they felt as 7 hungry golden eyes followed their every motion with malevolent anticipation.
But there's something more to them than simple banditry. Their eyes are starting to really freak me out. They're not even blinking. I'm not comfortable with this situation at all.
Yes, me too. What if we just slowly started to move away, keeping the distance, and see what their next action is?
Soren, what are your thoughts? You're generally reasonable when it comes to creepy things.
Certainly could pass them by. I'm wondering if there's any reason we've come across them today? Not that I believe in things like fate, but he did say that the Bell of Bone has tolled twice. I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah, me too. But I'm blanking on where at the moment.
Well, they're not followers of the Nameless God, at least. So unless we think that they are carrying something useful, it's probably best to give them a wide berth.
But what if they have something we could use, though? Gold, perhaps? Maybe a magic item or papers we could borrow to get into Audin?
Really, Gaelle? Are we bandits now? Have we dropped this far?
No, we're not bandits. We just make use of things we find. Forget I suggested it.
Right. Yeah, I'll just forget that.
So we forge ahead on our own, then?
Yeah, I think that's the winning move here. Whatever cult they're a part of, let's just not get involved this time. We seem to generally be doing more harm than good of late.
Understood.
It shall be so.
I would suggest we send Gaelle around forward with Soren, and I'll stick at the back with Ildrex.
I can go first, sure.
All right, Ildrex will walk back towards the group and just say, "Good travelers, we too are headed north. But we have come to the conclusion that our group will be traveling on our own, as we feel our timeline is a little bit more rushed than yours, and we would like to make up some lost ground today. Thank you for waiving the toll, good Sir Vinkint. We wish you safe travels as well."
Keep your eyes open on this road. Now that he is born, all things are possible.
Of course.
Gaelle and Soren led the team around the men in a wide arc, ensuring plenty of distance was maintained. The humans made no movement to attack, and waited for the team to gain a few hundred feet before they themselves began to slowly follow behind.
Just to be clear, we are not stopping until we get to Audin, right?
Right.
No chance in the hells.
The team continued their march toward Audin at a noticeably swifter pace. The thoughts of what those men, or perhaps whatever wore their skins or possessed their bodies, intended to do, pushing any desire to rest and any numbing exhaustion from their weary bodies. But they continued on without incident, digging into their last trail ration later that night while still walking on blistered feet by the light of the moon and stars. The clouds, ebbing fog, and light snow made it difficult to tell what hour it was, even after the sunlight finally returned, and as the sprawling walled city of Audin slowly crept into view. Audin was a fairly large city by the standards of any culture, and the road, passing its barren fields long since harvested, would take the team towards one of the central gates on its southern-facing wall. Audin was often seen as the dividing line between the Bright Vale and Eastwood to the north, situated in a valley between what marked the edge of the Frost Iron Mountains. It had been one of the westmost dwarven surface holds before its conversion into a mostly human settlement, and it marked the easternmost edge of the Oldhand Mountains. Eastwood, a human realm separate from the Bright Vale, but also part of the 5 human realms that comprised Leonhardt, often found itself at odds with its allies. So it came as no surprise to see checkpoints at its gates, with armed Eastwood city guards draped in green and gold, questioning all who approached in bored routine.
Finally. So Glom just starts striding forward towards the checkpoint.
Ildrex will follow a few feet back.
The party continued forward, unless otherwise indicated, toward a checkpoint lane that had just freed up.
Hail, good sirs! I shout as I approach.
Hail! Fair day. We need to ask a few questions before you can pass through.
Well, that won't be a problem, sir. Happy to answer questions, fill out a survey, whatever you need.
Ma'am, we'll be fine, but thank you.
That is some very gender-neutral armor. It's not doing her any favors, but I bet it's got pockets.
Oh, whispering. That's not suspicious.
Well,
and while we're at it, should we just...
Well, you're making us seem suspicious by saying the word suspicious at a checkpoint.
That's the part that's making this weird. Sorry, we just,
Let's start with your name.
Glom of Vogelberg, and my sister Gaelle of Vogelberg.
The East woman standing before them shot a confused glance at the other guards before rolling her eyes, casually shrugging and writing down both names.
Okay.
Gaelle leans forward. Hello. Fair day to you, sir. Ma'am.
Yes. Again, fair day. I'll have a few more questions beyond just your name, so let's try to keep side conversations to a minimum.
Sorry.
Yes. So, there are rules for entering the city of Audin. Are the other 2 behind you also with your party?
Yes, we are all together. And what is this of rules? There were no rules the last time I entered this town.
I assure you that there have always been rules in our city, but we're on higher tensions than normal. A nobleman of the High Division was recently murdered, and we are on the hunt for the appropriate persons of interest. But back to the matter, I'll need your names too. Sir Scaleskin?
I am Ildrex Mystan.
And you, sir?
I am Soren Arkwright.
Okay. What is your reason for entering the grand city of Audin?
Glom looks very confused.
So, normally, people come here to barter or trade as farmers, merchants, to work, to relax and spend coin, pleasure, business, things of this nature. I'm not trying to answer the question for you, but I don't wish to confuse you further. You're still staring at me like I've asked you a maths problem. These are just standard questions. We're not here to pry into your personal lives. We just wish to see that you mean no harm to Audin, Eastwood, or the faith.
Glom just turns to Gaelle.
We're here on official business. We've been given a quest, and we believe the people here could be of assistance to us.
That's really vague. So where did this quest come from? Is it a noble quest sanctioned by the crown, or something you just pulled from a community help board?
It's a bit of a complicated one. Not an official quest per se, but sort of helping out a friend, if that makes sense. We're obviously not from around here, but we are on our way from Ilmitter's Hope to help this poor guy here.
Thank you.
Okay, that's something. How long will you be staying in Audin?
Not long at all. We just need to complete our personal business and we'll be on our way. Mostly just some fact-finding to figure out where we need to go to find someone.
Do you need directions?
For now, I think we can manage.
Who would we speak to in regards to this murder that happened, this individual that was murdered?
I could speak to that, unfortunately. Why do you ask?
We're quite fond of side quests that screw over our DM, making the places we visit better than when we arrived. It is part of our code. What did you say your name was, ma'am?
I'm Officer Cyne of the Audin City Guard Low Division. Though it may to be captain before too much longer.
You don't seem very happy about the promotion.
The man who held that post, Sir Captain Willard Osmark, was my predecessor. He was the noble I mentioned, killed by a Delvin sorceress and her henchmen.
A Delvin?
Yes, a deep elf. Delvin, the creepy underground elves. Apparently, this one escaped some kind of prison and is working with a pair of dwarves who already have an extensive list of crimes that stretch from here to the holds.
How many other henchmen are with them?
It's unclear. They seem to have some kind of local network within Audin that's helping them hide. But mark my words, after what they did, they will never see the outside of these walls.
May I ask, what exactly is it that they have done?
First and foremost, they're wanted for the murder of Sir Captain Willard Osmark. The slaying of a knight, a paladin, is an instant death sentence, and Baron Strahl is calling in help from the capital and beyond to aid in the hunt. These brigands have also recently been charged with destruction of property, theft, riding under the influence, indecent acts in public, and we're still talking to witnesses, but we have reason to believe they've poisoned and murdered one or more merchants locally. The only confirmed death so far was Darklander, but we still care about them. At least some of us do.
Officer Cyne looked back toward one of the other guards, who exchanged a quiet affirmation of gratitude.
By any chance, was one of the dwarves a redhead?
Yes. Rowena Granite Pike.
Shit.
How did you know that?
I believe our paths may have crossed for a reason.
Explain.
The personal matter Gaelle alluded to is that Rowena and her cousin stabbed me and left me for dead in the dead pines. Homonyms, right? My companions and I have been tracking them ever since. We are familiar with most of the hijinks they've gotten themselves into and how far they've fallen. I'm genuinely sorry that we didn't get here sooner, or we might have prevented some of this from happening. We got distracted for a few days there, and I'm starting to think that we need to really rein in our focus.
I believe in fate, and that you were brought here for a reason. The gods may guide your journey, and I'd be happy to help you in any way that I'm able. Please, let me know if you need anything during your stay here. I'll be off shift in a few hours, and my afternoon off is mostly going to consist of trying to find the same people you're looking for. What were you doing in the Dead Pines?
That's a bit of a long story, actually. Soren was looking for missing inhabitants of the village. Children, actually, and he was trying to bring them back. But as he said, he was stabbed and left in the woods to die. So if you know any children that need finding, we'd be more than happy to try and do some good to balance the good we kind of failed to do in the first place. That sort of thing.
Well, there are children that have gone missing in Audin. It's unfortunately more common than most would want to admit in larger cities, but it happens, and all too often. Children will flee abusive homes in favor of street gangs or the promise of a life of adventure. The world is a dark and terrible place, So why do some men seek to make it even darker? I'm not going to ask you for help snuffing out the more terrible parts of humanity. You've more important quarry on this day. But should you find yourself in the temple quarter, there are a number of folks who have gone missing. More than normal.
Adults or children?
Adults, and a few of us believe that there's something of a pattern. We just can't look into it at the current time. If you're able to investigate, ask around, and maybe find a sort of link, a number of us on the low division would be very grateful.
Low division?
Think of it like the guards who take care of everything that's not noble affairs. Less fancy titles and such.
So the important work.
Yes. Did you just wink at me?
The eyeliner makes it real subtle.
It sounds like we should probably find our way to whatever thing we had planned on doing here and go check out this temple quarter and, find some dwarves at some point.
There's one last question, as it's part of the formality. Do you know who you'll be staying with, or will you be booking an inn while you're here?
Doug?
Okay, you're staying with Doug. Any surname, title, is he in any... Does he have an occupation?
He was a clown.
Blacksmith.
Doug the clown and blacksmith.
Very talented man. Only uses props he's made on his own forge. Never ask him to juggle.
But he may be dead now.
But he trained me in my clown days, hoping he's still around.
Glom looks uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Ildrex's fanciful lie would require a deception check.
An 18.
Well, I hope that you're able to find your mentor, and that he's not among the missing.
Thank you, I hope so too.
If it does wind up that he is missing, do you have any recommendations about other lodgings?
Well, if you're the religious type, various places of worship like the Chapel of the Sun always opens their doors to those in need, faithful or not. If you're not religious, the Lonely Devil in the Temple Quarter is also said to be affordable and a fairly nice stop for travelers.
Lonely Devil it is.
We appreciate the recommendations.
So, you said your shift ends in a few hours?
Not to interrupt your flirting here, Gaelle, but there's a pretty big line.
Well, I don't need to keep you any longer. Thank you for your answers in time. Welcome to Audin. Our gates open for you. And good luck. I hope to see you later.
Thank you.
The team passed through a small doorway and through a defensive courtyard that led to a large open gate of iron. Once through, they had unfettered access to Audin. The city was divided between the High Quarter, which included the Baron's estate, the merchant quarters and markets, the Low Quarter and more affordable markets, and the Temple Quarter, with its grand works of architecture and entertainment, where the sick were tended to. They were currently within the Low Quarter.
Okay, can we regroup, please? I'm a little confused. Are we looking for missing children? Or missing adults? Or both? Or maybe we're looking for a date for Gaelle? Ow! Look, I'm serious. Are we looking for Rowena or her cousin? Or a deep elf? Or...
Personally, I am looking for the dwarves. It seems that they're leaving a trail of death and misfortune in their wake. So at the very least, I think it's probably a good thing for us to have a chat with them. Maybe with swords to the face.
Right.
According to Officer Cyne, the dwarves could still be in Audin.
Yes.
I mean, we saw her eat someone's face off in the woods, so it's probably...
Yes, I do remember.
So I'm inclined to find them and ask questions with swords to the face. Preferably before they see us. A date with a guard might be nice too, though.
Okay. Ildrex?
Yes?
What do you want to do?
I've actually grown somewhat attached to you all, so I feel that I would like to help you see this through, and help anyone we find along the way who needs help. Like missing children.
Spoken like a true adventurer.
Just a scaled skin looking to help random children have better birthdays.
Absolutely. It's all about the kids. Won't somebody think of the children, is what they say.
My village I'm from.
That's a lovely sentiment.
Okay, I'm less confused now.
So, I'm looking at the open area before us, the South Gate Plaza, how original, and it seems like we can pick up various goods, like animals, vases, new clothing. Now that person there is shining shoes. There's a strangely dressed man selling birds for all occasions. And a few peddlers over there are, well, they're all in white, so that can't be good. In mourning, perhaps? Or Darklanders?
Perhaps both?
Well, I never have fit in well with city folks, so I'll try my luck with the Darklanders. If you guys would like to shop somewhere else, or eavesdrop on my conversation, I'll be over there.
I have questions of my own, actually.
Glom and Gaelle curiously approached the bird vendor, inquiring about the meaning of falcons for every occasion, while Ildrex replenished his dwindling supply of ale. Soren, however, walked closer to the merchants dressed in that bone-bleached white. While he slowly feigned looking at goods which were assortedly mundane and only mildly interesting at best, he was approached by a man who put down his knitting needles to raise a fake smile. The sad merchant did his best to make the mediocre collection of rubbish seem like vintage antique chic.
I sense a man of good taste. Feel free to browse what we have and ask as many questions as you'd like. Many of the objects before you have properties that the eyes of many may miss at a glance, and stories behind how each of them arrived before you. I'm Helrintheenath, but those who don't speak Darlerian call me Heltha. We are traveling merchants here from Great Vernasco, and have everything from intentionally cursed goods that will make great gifts for your enemies, to various well-traveled trinkets that will look great on a beloved one.
Like his companions, the young man wore an immaculate white, which made his skin and hair seem all the darker in contrast. The makeup and henna on his face subtly emphasized the features of his skull, almost masking the sadness behind his eyes, and a small bracelet revealed, only to Soren, that he, or whoever formerly owned the bracelet, was descended from Darlerian nobility, in a time before their homeland was destroyed. This bracelet was undoubtedly the most valuable item in the collection before him.
Eltha, good to meet you. I'm Soren.
Nice to meet you. Ah, that is a lucky dragon's tail. Unlucky dragon's tail. Sorry, they look so similar. That's a goblin's paw, and this is the lover's great sword.
Those all sound fantastically potent. I approached you, not to pry, because you appear to be bothered by something. Is it to do with this death that's happened? I heard the bell tolling.
The bell tolls for the death of a noble, but it is not his passing which saddens us so. My sister was poisoned. She was the leader of our clan, and tragically someone she was talking with chose to take her life, seemingly at a random, a horrific act.
That's truly terrible.
And now our clan is not in good standing with the guard, so we must leave the city before their goodwill ends. 2 nights. We are hoping to sell some goods today and purchase the goods we'll need to reach Lopovichel safely. We would be most appreciative if you would purchase something from us to help return my sister to our family's gravesite.
Certainly. This murderer, if it's not too painful to talk about, did you see this? Did anyone witness the act?
Yes. It was some sort of poison, but we did not realize it at the time. The Delvin simply spit into her own hand, and when they shook to close the deal, Resplenda had already been poisoned. It was so mundane.
And you said this was a Delvin that did this?
Yes, she identified herself as Lihril. Delvin are rare enough, but she had a most terrible cycloptic creature with her, and a small gang of bandits who worked for her.
A small in which sense? I think I overheard that they were dwarves?
2 of them were, but there was also a human drunkard who looked almost as bad as he smelled. If the rumors are true, they are the same gang that also killed the noble. Since you seem like the interested sort, I'll tell you that believe they must know a sorcerer and found a means of hiding and perhaps even escape.
Sounds like they have a lot to answer for. Tell me, do you have anything, any of these items for around 20 gold pieces?
Sure. This goblin's paw is only 15 gold, and it could grant you your wishes. Only 3, because the previous owner's wishes did not end quite in the way he envisioned. Therefore, we are led to believe that it's slightly cursed, which is why it is available for only 15 gold. We also have, as you can see, small mirrors from around the world. Some pixie dust, acquired cruelty-free, from the Azure Kingdom. Oh, that's oil that makes things very quiet. And that is bear armor, should you wish to make one into a formidable foe, because let's face it, today's bears are a bit soft in the pad and belly, as they say.
Well, that's true. And this spyglass, is there some kind of story behind it as well?
Ah, you are a man of taste, as I have said. That is a spyglass that made its way to Great Vernasco from the Northlands. It was said to be owned by a crew member of the fearsome Bird Mountain Raider. Silly name, yes, but the reputation is quite fearsome. The owner apparently traded it for some food and night in someone else's bed. It happens to cost exactly 20 gold. A steal, if I may say so.
Certainly.
Now, while it is not as fancy as the other spyglasses you might have seen in other shops, this one is fully functional. With it, you can easily imagine yourself seeing things on the open road well before they see you, weather permitting. On a particularly good day, I suspect you could even see someone's face from as far as a mile away. I think that's about 1.6 kilometers, but for some reason everyone here insists on feet and miles.
Interesting. I think I will take it, the spyglass and the cursed goblin's paw. Who knows when you might need something like that.
You bless us with your patronage.
That is 35 pieces?
And even 35 gold, my bearded friend. Thank you for your kindness.
Best of luck to you. I'm sorry again for all of your troubles in the city.
Thank you, kind sir. This should be more than enough for us to make the trip. Can I or my clan be of any further assistance? Do you perhaps need directions? We've been in Audin for some time now.
We are looking to find some discreet lodging up in the temple quarter while we investigate a rather personal matter. It's that way, right?
Correct. I would recommend thy place of worship. It is a pleasant enough place for those who wishing not to be bothered who have coin. It is not actually a place of worship, and the password is commoner. Oh, I'm a commoner seeking prayer.
A commoner seeking prayer. Is that the Chapel of Sun you're talking about, or another place?
No, the name is just a bit deceptive.
Okay.
It is many things. A place of secrets and harmless indulgences. But above all else, a place to get away without prying eyes for all who seek such things. Or a haven for those who are otherwise frowned upon being in this town.
Hey, Soren, we're done shopping.
Your friend, for instance, he stands out. I would keep a close eye on him for safety.
Oh, trust me, I do.
Many of his kind have disappeared recently, so I've heard. Well, I say many, but 2 is many.
2 is a lot. A lot. There's not any here.
We'll keep a close eye on you, Ildrex. It'll be fine.
Fine. Yes, it's good. No problems.
Kind sir, is there anywhere around here that might sell balms or things to heal?
Healing balms? Yes, for wounds or like your lips, because they seriously need moisturizing. It gets surprisingly dry this time of year.
I could use something for my chapped lips, actually.
Well, for 5 copper we have this. It is a stick that melts upon contact with your lips, and it should help.
Cool. Do you have it in different flavors?
Just the one.
Okay, I'll take it.
Glom received a balm that presumably healed 1 hit point when used, and had around 50 uses, but only healed or prevented injuries to his lips.
The Chapel of the Sun, who do they worship there?
The old god Celagon.
Good, thank you.
This is common knowledge.
Just one more question, and then I will stop bothering you, Heltha.
You're not a bother, Soren.
This drunkard you mentioned, was he from the city of Audin, or have you ever seen him before?
I'm not sure, but his accent was strange. Perhaps from Northrealm? I paid him the least attention.
Understood. Thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you. And if we can be of any further help, my clan and I would enjoy the privilege of selling you anything that might make your journey safer.
Certainly. If we need anything else, we will keep you in mind.
Goodbye, Soren.
The man bowed before giving Soren a small hug and quickly slipping an object into his hands.
This may help.
I nod very subtly at him.
Soren received the item without anyone noticing, and the team began their walk toward the temple quarter.
Shall we find a place to stay for the night? Either the temple, the chapel, or this other establishment?
Or is it just me, or is anyone else still confused? At one point we were looking for dwarves and their escaped convict friends, but from what I learned from the Falcon guy, they seem to have escaped. Oh, and, Soren, say hi to Pedro.
Well, if we think they've already left town, do we want to stay, or do we want to look into the missing people?
I, for one, think we should at least get one night's rest in a proper bed away from the elements. If we speak to people in the temple quarter, then maybe we can find out some more information on where they went. This thy place of worship, they seem like they wouldn't appreciate sociopathic murderers being in their town, so maybe they have a lead on where they went.
Glom looks relieved.
Certainly, it seems like our chase is not at an end. We have further to go after the city here, but we should take a day if we can and gather some information and some shut-eye.
Indeed, and certainly some food for my brother.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, take a second here and pull out the box, if I could.
Not that we haven't appreciated the food that you've been gathering for us.
Oh, no offense taken at all. So, Heltha gave me a parting gift here. Do you recognize this at all, Glom?
No, why would I recognize a box with infernal runes on it?
I didn't know you could recognize infernal. Oh, I can read that, and it says, 3 week more. Sorry, there was some grime on it. Okay, on a second glance here, I think I know what this is. It's sort of a capturing device for angry spirits, but I suppose we could also use it to store jewelry or small trinkets. I'll keep it on hand.
Does it contain a spirit now?
Shake it a little.
Glom steps away from the box.
I don't think so.
It was worth the ask, just in case he was offloading a not great spirit.
Hey, Ildrex, that man spoke of your kind disappearing. That came out wrong. I didn't mean to be I didn't mean to I was just...
Yeah, that's troublesome, but I don't feel like we'll be here long enough to hopefully gain that sort of attention.
It's also not unheard of for scaleskin, orcs, or even humans from Jensla to be looked down upon in the human realms. But I'm not too concerned by that.
Okay.
We'll just keep our wits about us and ask the questions we need to and depart tomorrow?
As soon as possible, yes. And if you feel as though anything is off, anyone is watching you or following us, just let us know.
Of course.
Be on the lookout as well.
Glom with his hand on his sword now and watching behind them.
Perhaps we go start at thy place of worship and then see where to go from there.
Certainly. Let's see if we can ask some questions.
Certainly. I trust the Darklander's advice.
Agreed.
Shall we head to thy place of worship and see if we can't get any hot leads?
Absolutely. I am on board for hot leads.
Good.
A few minutes later, the team found themselves within the temple quarter, a funerary procession of city guards visible in the distance. They stopped a few times to ask for directions, passing cold copper coins to a trio of street urchins and a baker who seemed like he might know the way. And before too much longer, the team found themselves before a small door leading to a nondescript 2-story building, seemingly apartments. On its doorframe were present various symbols for deities within the faith, the formal religious college that comprised accepted religions within Eastwood. Soren cleared his throat and knocked surreptitiously, scanning his surroundings for any sudden changes. And the door opened, only slightly, as a tiefling, a short-haired Cambion was visible through that crack in the door, his yellow eyes appraising the figures in sight.
The gods of the faith be praised, my children. What can Father Fitelsch do for you today, friends?
Greetings, Father. I am a commoner seeking prayer.
And who among our congregation invited you?
That would be Heltha of Vernasco.
Welcome home, brothers, to thy place of worship.
The door closed as numerous locks were disengaged and opened again, revealing that same Cambion, but with a different room behind him. A larger room, brighter too. A full-blown tavern with torches and candles illuminated dozens of individuals in revelry, drinking, engaged in muted conversations that were individually hardly louder than a whisper, and collectively as loud as a church prayer. Father Fetelch pulled the party inside quickly, looking behind them one final time to confirm no one was watching, before closing the door and playfully flipping the various locks and levers haphazardly affixed to its inner frame.
What is your vice, friends?
This is my kind of church.
Do you have a good ale on tap, good friend? And then we might have a few questions for you.
Surely. Thanks to Jeggeren's plentiful harvest last fall, we have all manner of drinks, local and imported, on tap. Come, take a seat at the bar. Lucas?
As the weary team felt the warmth of a hearth for the first time in days, a young human boy sparked to life, mixing the contents of various marked and unmarked bottles together into 3 glasses. The concoction seemed potent and had a strange orange color with a black smoky surface.
These, my friends, are fireballs. 5 copper each, but they will warm you right up.
I'd pay the 5 copper and take a sip.
Ildrex passed his constitution saving throw with advantage, a curious black smoke leaving his nostrils and grinning mouth.
Delicious! It's delicious. Oh, it warms my bones. Oh, right down in my tum-tum. I love it.
Gaelle, is it safe for us to drink?
Can't see why not.
I'll take one, and some water and a mouse for Pedro here.
Gaelle pushes across a few copper for both her and her brother, takes a drink for herself and one for Glom, and downs her drink. You joining me, Glom?
Yep.
Soren, are you joining us?
Oh, it seems rude not to at this point.
Glom passed his constitution saving throw while Gaelle failed, strangely enough. It had been a while since she'd had proper drink, or meal for that matter. The boy was quick to mix another drink for Soren, and then another as Ildrex intercepted the first drink.
I'll slide a 10 copper as an extra tip for the boy's trouble, and do my constitution saving throw here. 12.
With the extra copper, the boy quietly whispered something under his breath, and the drink caught alight, first blue, then gold. Within the lingering hypnotic yellow and orange flames, Soren could see a small boat circling the edge of his glass, a grand Vernasken tall ship. It sank as Soren moved to take a sip, and that same smoke that briefly left the nostrils and mouths of his companions followed as he belched.
Oh, is that cinnamon? Excuse me.
Yes, monsieur?
It's lovely.
Thank you, monsieur.
So, initiates of my lord's congregation, is there anything else I can offer you? We have all manner of pursuits within these walls to keep you content and your spirit full of life, so long as you have coin for tithing. Perhaps you might like to share the night with one or more of the feminine persuasion? Or masculine, for that matter?
What? Why is everyone looking at me?
Father Fetelch seemed oddly pleased with himself in that moment.
My friend, we are just looking for a quiet night in alone. As much as we'd love to spend more money here, we're buttoned down for as brief a stay as possible. We are hunting some dwarven criminals and an escaped Delvin convict, and we hear that you may know a bit about the happenings within Audin. Do you know anything of the recent murders that have occurred to the nobles and others perhaps in town? We believe that they might be related to the individuals we are tracking.
You have already purchased 5 drinks from us at a premium, so...
Please, just keep those lovely drinks coming. Here's a scale.
Right away. And for this, I am grateful. So, to answer your questions, your scattered but oddly connected questions... There was a fight with a city guard which involved the recently deceased Sir Captain Willard Osmark. And while I do not mourn the man's death, I still would not wish such a fate upon him. I cannot substantiate what I'm about to say by any means, but my congregation believe that those you are searching for have left Audin through magical means. They were working closely with men from the Chapel of the Sun, so... perhaps that's a lead of interest?
Is the Chapel of the Sun known to harbor individuals of dangerous sort.
How much do you know about Eastwood's religions?
I would be lying if I said I knew more than that you served good booze.
So, in Eastwood, we've a slightly more stringent version of the faith, as we are its birthplace and homeland. We within the faith are expected to think of the gods as a big family, as they are all related, and to give our respects to all of the churches and smaller faiths, so long as they do not belong to one of the banned gods, the less friendly ones.
Gensla's kind of like that, only we don't have banned gods.
Well, it wouldn't be a proper human settlement without something banned, right? The list of banned gods is mostly the old gods, the high pantheon. Chaos, darkness, the elven god of balance. His other aspects are probably fine, but it's hard to forgive a god who wants to subjugate you in the name of cosmic balance. This leaves the Lord of Light, Celagon, as the only remaining god of old, and in general, the Chapel of the Sun and the other churches here do not get along, purely in the name of self-defense. They have been known to harbor individuals of less than savory nature from time to time, again, to try and protect themselves because the guards here are not always the most friendly toward them. Eastwood has always had its difficulties with those of different faiths. Monotheists, atheists who deny the god's divinity altogether, or those from beyond the realm of Leonhardt. A number of foreigners and folks who follow the less legal faiths have vanished.
Glom slaps Gaelle on the back and slides 10 copper over plus another 5 for the boy. All right, round 2, Gaelle.
Let's do it.
Yes, Monsieur. During the middle of a fairly well-executed info drop, the boys slid Glom and Gaelle 2 more fireballs.
Here you are, Monsieur.
They both required Constitution saving throws as drinks were knocked back, causing indeterminate damage to their respective livers.
8.
A 10. Also, what do the other patrons look like, and are any of them attractive?
Gaelle and Glom's level of inebriation were now equal, and with a self-professed heightened awareness when drunk written on their character sheets, and matching tattoos from their last bender, noted a mix of patrons, human, dwarven, a gnome or stout skin that the DM didn't have nearly enough time to think of a description for, and an elf.
Gaelle will quietly talk to my brother in the way of all drunks who think that they are being very quiet. Hey, brother, look at me. Glom, that one over there, he's so tiny.
He is indeed. Maybe he's a child.
Why is there a child in the bar?
Do you think he's missing? We should go save him. I bet he'd love that.
Maybe after one more.
I'm just gonna over here.
What was Soren up to during the amazing mistake that was about to happen?
Side's getting more and more concerned with every passing moment.
Ildrex is keeping an eye on Glom, and I don't know if he's finished his conversation with the tiefling, but maybe looks to Soren and says, perhaps the Chapel of the Sun might be something we want to check. And then he looks to Glom again. Maybe tomorrow?
Sure.
I'll prepare discreet rooms for the night.
That would be most kind of you.
For 5 silver, we can get each of you a room.
How much?
Just a scale, and the room's guaranteed not to make you disappear.
I will pass him 5 silver and say that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Father Fattel smiled as his tail swiped the money.
Can I ask, are you actually a priest of some kind?
Why, of course. I'm quite faithful to the teachings of Jeggerin, not merely for the gifts he gives us, but because the circle of seasons and life are so profound and I can see that your strange friend has already had a bit too much to drink.
Glom turns and slaps Soren on the back. Soren! I just might be rude. Why is your skin that color?
It's because I spent too much of my childhood on the beach, and now it's a sort of an overexposure thing, and I've lost all of the pink to my hue. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
As I thought it was because you were like undead or something at first. But you're an alright guy, Soren. You're alright.
Undead, that's crazy.
I know. So I'm not the sharpest crayon.
Oh, you do all right.
Thanks.
Ildrex motions for another drink while this conversation is going on.
Gaelle, I feel like you're not keeping up with me. I think you're losing your edge.
Then you need to buy me another drink.
Done. And now I'm sort of losing track of money, so Glom just puts a gold piece down. 2 more.
Thank you, Mr. Here's 5 silver back.
The boy was fairly honest.
Oh wait, I left Soren out, so I put another gold piece down. 1 for my friend.
Oh, goodness.
And each of them was given a thick, effervescent green drink, contained within a set of wide pewter goblets that almost resembled cauldrons. They hissed and smoked like alchemical concoctions as various small herbs, powders, and berries were minced and formed with paste into small figures that were lowered into the drink, like secret agents in a... Actually, that's probably a horrible metaphor for a fantasy story. Like figures enchanted under a witch's spell, leaping like metaphorical lemmings to their demise, pulled by the call of that deep green void. As they jumped in without a splash, small flecks of glowing light were visible within, which were stirred quickly by the boy. But when the wooden spoon he used to stir each drink was removed, the sections that were dipped beneath its surface had dissolved. The boy whispered a few words over the drinks, and the green became suddenly clear glowing light in liquid form, and the pewter goblets were now brilliantly luminous.
Ooh. These chocolates are really good. Pretty amazing. Pedro, you don't like chocolate. I'll eat it.
Those aren't normal chocolates. Please don't eat them so... It's fine.
What was your name again, sir?
Father Fetelsh.
Oh yes, Fetelsh. Fetelsh. What do we got going on here? This looks amazing.
You paid us a little bit too much, so we have decided to make for you what's called the Warlock's Luminous Hex. It is a very powerful drink, one you will never forget.
But will we remember it?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. If your patron guides you, certainly you will remember it, and be led toward an evening of fortuitous events you will never forget.
I got this one.
Can your god save you?
Fetelsh's tail smoothly nudged the drink closer to Glom.
Glom downs it. 22.
Eight. If she wasn't already, Gaelle is now very drunk.
Guys, you need to try this. This is the best drink I've ever had.
We may not remember this tomorrow. Quick, what does this taste like to you?
It's like one of those drinks where you can think of 30 or so flavors, and they're not wrong. Getting a hint of pestle.
It's like peaches and clouds.
Well, that just sounds too good to pass up. I, too, will drink 14.
Mm-hmm.
I taste the clouds and the peaches, and perhaps some hint of cloves?
Yes. Cloves, that's what that was.
Yes. Maybe we should talk to other people in here. I think that would go over very well at this point.
Ildrex's training prepared him for this moment, but the others were not faring as well. Soren, normally calm and collected, was suddenly more introverted. Thinking himself able to see more patrons than were present in the room, otherworldly or perhaps deceased.
Guys, I see dead people. And they're kind of fun, but kind of creepy.
Ildrex looks around. I think you... sure.
It's peach gods and cloves. That's what's here with us.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh boy.
That's it.
And there's a tiny person in the corner. We should go and make friends. You need to entertain him, brother.
The team approached the tiny humanoid, actually revealed to be an adult woman, though the team felt like she was smaller than the last stoutkin they'd met in the woods, so surely she must be a gnome.
Sorry to interrupt. Excuse me, tiny person.
Hello, red hair.
Yes, hi.
Why are you so tiny?
Why are you so tall?
Oh, burn.
Touché.
I was always the shortest one, but I feel tall now.
I apologize for the strangeness of my friends. They have had too much to drink. My name is Ildrex. What was yours?
I'm Swa Merescar El Calvare Saint Solar the 23rd.
Oh my.
Can Can I call you... say that again slower?
Sois Meleskar El Calvary, Saint Solar the 23rd.
Can I call you 23?
Or Swama.
Swami 23.
Okay. But if you think that's bad, you should hear my older brother Jess's full name.
Swami 23, all right.
Okay, Ildrex. I've been here for a little bit. I'm actually looking for one of my brothers.
Jess?
No, the other one. He's missing. He used to live here in Audin. I think he still does live here, but someone else is living in his house, and
I have a brother. You could borrow mine.
Yeah, you could borrow me. Oh, wait, this cup... so Glom goes and drags Soren over, if Soren will come.
Sure.
This is my friend Soren. He spends too much time on the beach.
Too much.
She was telling us about her missing brother.
You see, we're adventurers. We go places and fix shit. So tonight might be your lucky night. Wink, wink.
I'm invisible.
It's not even 3 p.m.
So, your brother's missing?
Yes, my younger brother.
Is your brother a child?
No, he's an adult. But he's actually older than me, just younger than the other one who isn't missing. Jess.
Okay.
Excuse you, Ildrex. No, that's too bad. We only look for missing children.
He's like a small one.
Actually,
I mean, we would help adults too.
Thank you.
Just closing my eyes. I'm listening.
He and his husband both went missing.
And how long ago did they go missing?
They stopped sending me letters about 7 months ago. I didn't think much of it at the time since we don't write much and sometimes letters don't make it. But after a while, I felt like something might have happened and got here as fast as I could.
And you said his house was empty? I think I overheard.
Not empty. When I got here, humans were living at their address. They were very rude and wouldn't talk to me. They also said that they didn't have any of his stuff, which felt kind of like a lie with how they said it. And then they threatened to call the guard on me if I didn't leave.
That just doesn't sound very nice. Would you like us to talk to them for you?
I've got the lantern and a goblin paw. We can get answers one way or another.
Swa praised the current condition of the party and her odds at getting results on her own, weighing the worst outcomes both had to offer against Soren's persuasion roll.
You know... Yeah, sure. That'd be okay if you wanted to talk to them for me. I think it's unfair that they treated me like this. And I think you guys have a real shot at getting answers.
Certainly.
We're great at getting information out of people.
Okay, well, I can take you there whenever you're ready.
Glom's head is on the table and he is snoring.
I smack Glom. Smack him.
No, what?
8 chocolates in, Glom didn't flinch.
Okay. Soren, are you coming to talk with the people who stole the house?
No, I'm there. I'm in.
Sweet.
To get the belongings back.
Let's go.
Me too.
All right. Let's go find some belongings there. Swami 23.
At the entrance, Swamiles Karikal Veresensalar the 23rd exchanged a few words with the Cambion, who opened the door with a very particular series of coordinated touches and tappings, including a few with his tail. The door opened, barely, and the trio was let out, though the surroundings seemed different from where they entered.
Hold on, Swami. Are we in the same place?
This is one of the entrances to that place of worship. There's 4 of them, but they all go through the same doorway.
All right. Lead the way.
The gnome guided the trio down a series of alleyways until they reached a large house that had clearly been divided into apartments. From the other side of the road, she pointed at one of the doorways.
That's the apartment. It's still kind of early afternoon, so they might be at work or something.
So we're looking for your brother's belongings. Maybe if we can find out where he went, and if we don't get this information, do we want to? We don't want to burn down the place. That would be too far.
Yeah, I think that might just be too far.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to know where my brother is.
All right. Well, we won't hurt them.
Soren puts away his lantern, which he was getting out.
You're gonna go. Yes, you probably don't want to set them on a sour note. Let me and my pasty tiny friend here lead the way.
I nod in agreement.
I'm still here too.
So, I'm gonna go hide 1 block away over there. I kind of feel nervous, or sick, but, I don't like when people see me puke. Just come and get me when you're done. Good luck!
To the drunken logic of this early afternoon bender, Swa's words seemed logical enough as she hurried behind a barrel 1 block away.
I knock on 17B.
Oh, no, we're gonna knock? Okay.
Still tasting the hex drink. Kind of sneaks up on you, eh?
A few moments later, a human woman in a wheelchair opened the door. She was in her 40s, but it was a medieval sort of 40s, which more closely resembled the late 90s, nearing a sort of end of life. Visually, her thin hair was graying, and her face bore many wrinkles, most of which turned upward in the semblance of a smile.
Good afternoon. How can I help you?
Hello.
Ah! A dragon man!
Yes,
Please, don't eat me!
I assure
Leave
you,
us alone, and don't hurt anyone!
Ma'am, I don't intend to hurt you. I'm simply a student of the world, a scaleskin of Aegender. And I am only thinking good thoughts towards you. I wish only the best upon you, and yours and theirs.
To this I can attest.
He lights people on fire.
When in fact we're searching for people.
Her wide eyes darted nervously from Ildrex's scales and teeth to Gaelle, to Soren's intense, half-drunk gaze and unnaturally grey skin.
You other two don't look so well yourselves.
Madam, please, calm yourself. We're simply here to ask you a few questions, if we may.
Soren required a persuasion check to help the woman overcome her terror of scaleskin long enough to start a conversation.
I smile, big.
With disadvantage.
15.
How?
Yes, I suppose we could speak. What is it you want if you're not here to eat me?
A very, very long pause hung in the air while Soren, Gaelle, and Ildrex exchanged a silent pantomimed conversation in a drunk dialect that couldn't quite be translated to the podcast, but might be included in a behind-the-scenes on our Patreon one day if we still have the video.
Am I supposed to understand what you're saying?
We're looking for perhaps the previous tenant here, of small stature. Stature? Do you know where they might have gone, or what happened to perhaps their belongings?
No, we knew very little about the previous occupants and never met them. A few of their belongings were still scattered about the place, even after we got it, so we threw most of them out.
Unfortunate. Who did you purchase the dwelling from?
Our master, Lord Dossinger, petitioned the Baron for land on our behalf.
Are you slaves? Were you slaves? I guess, have you ever been slaves?
The Dossingers have been our family's protectors and benefactors for generations. They own a section of Audin farmlands just past the river. They keep it safe, and they give us everything we need or want, so long as we work the land. We paid a proper salary.
But you work his land? Where did you live?
In a house we rented from him for many years.
And did he charge you rent?
It was deducted from a salary.
And how is that not slavery?
What my colleague is trying to ask is, how did you get this house?
As I was explaining, my husband and I have been farming for Lord Dossinger for a very long time. We rented a house from him for just as long, and our children had children. We thought it was getting a bit crowded, and asked Lord Dossinger if we could find us a small place to live where we could take care of the children and the children of the Mulligans while they worked the fields. So our lord inquired to the Baron Stroll about an apartment.
Slavery. Fight the patriarchy.
I look to Soren and with I think we know that name.
You should. He's the Baron of Audin.
Right. That's where I remember it from.
Did you speak with a woman? A gnome woman with a very long name some time ago regarding a missing brother of hers who used to live here?
No, I have remembered meeting a gnome. But now that you mention it, my daughter-in-law mentioned that a really short-starkin might have stopped by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she said to call the guard if the ruffian came back. Something about a missing brother who used to live here, maybe?
You were told this by the Baron or by your children?
My daughter. I have nothing of value, and my son was afraid that the Stout King might get violent. People can act strangely when it comes to family.
So, like, I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but, like, do you know anything about the missing brother? You can tell me. It's okay. We're friends now.
We really don't know him and never met him. The Baron generously gave this plot to Lord Dasinger, who gave it to us, after the city guard reported that the previous tenants left in a hurry. Captain Rennes, actually. He also did a quick clean of the place before we arrived. Not very thorough, though, as I'd mentioned. But we chatted a bit because I had some question of my own to ask about the safety of the neighborhood. While you seem like a friendly enough sharp-toothed half-dragon, and I'm sorry for the way I acted earlier, there's a reason why outsiders are feared.
Can I make an insight check just to see if I think she's on the up and up? 10.
Ildrex stood before a commoner who had likely never traveled more than a few miles beyond the walls of Audin in her entire life, appraising her and the fresh chalk notches in the wall with names and dates written beside them, coupled by her hideous taste in interior design, carpeted floors. He felt that she was a farmer who was not unintelligent, but not intelligent enough to be part of any conspiracy greater than vegetable theft. Any thoughts that she could perhaps be a spy were dispelled by the poor conditions of her teeth and wheelchair, or the sunspots that marred her arms. This was a sturdy woman of the land, very specifically the immediate acres surrounding Audin.
Perhaps you could point us in the direction of Baron Strahl's palace. Maybe he's looking for a conversation this evening.
Like you, lot of clowns could get an audience with the Baron. But today is probably at the funeral of the knight Captain Osmorg. Though I think I heard the bells toll for him already.
And this Officer Rennes, most likely the same story on his way back from the funeral? Do you know where he's stationed these days?
There's a local garrison not too far from here. It's just over that way on the right. Or he might be on patrol?
Any distinguishing features that we might be looking for with Officer Rennes?
Rennes is a noble of the noble house of Stalling. You know, the heraldry of a skull of a dragon with a spearman, a golden spearman atop it.
Wonderful. Well, perhaps we visit Officer Rennes.
Indeed. You say you were looking after your children's children, right? Where are your children right now?
I suspect they're still patching their fences today. Alicia came through a few nights ago and left quite a bit of damage.
I see. This is outside the city walls?
That's right. We're mostly grape and turnip farmers, but last year was a bit of lettuce.
You grow wine?
No, we grow grapes used for jams. It's a different kind of grapes, if you're interested to chatting it over, but I really should be getting back to check on things.
We appreciate your cooperation, madam. So sorry to interrupt your afternoon, and thank you for dealing with us.
Yes, may the gods guide your path.
So this Officer Rennes, based on the heraldry alone, sounds like a racist dick. How do you want to approach that, Ildrex?
Perhaps I could get a disguise? Or just maybe hang back a little bit. Now let's go disguise. I could disguise.
Sure, we could find some clown paint around. No, maybe that's not a good idea.
No, it's, yeah.
So, how are we feeling about magic with Glom sleeping? We do have something that might just disguise you rather well.
Interesting.
And with that, Gaelle pulls out the broken wand of true polymorphing with a tipsy grin and pokes Ildrex. Eh?
Yeah, I don't think.
What are the chances he'll explode? Or he'll turn into a pony?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't end well for Shinebright the sheep, and we're just trying to do a little
side thing here. I don't think it's worth it at this point. Maybe we hang on to that for...
The wand was in Gaelle's hand as her eyes danced with vivid imagination.
No,
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Gaelle.
Gaelle looks a bit upset, but puts the wand away slowly with a sigh.
As the team began to walk down the road, Glom and Pedro, now awake after a power nap, caught up with them so Sean Howard wouldn't have to sit out the rest of today's adventure.
Brother!
Gaelle, seemingly choking on air, that strong city air, took another shot at her greeting a few moments later, after color returned to her face, and the rest of the party stopped laughing.
Brother, you've returned to us. Well done. And Pedro.
Oh, my head.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay. Because we gotta go crash a funeral.
Right. And not drink anything.
Not right now.
Still can't keep up with your sister.
Never could.
You know, as fun as it would be to bring my lantern to a funeral and make shadow puppets, I think we should try the local garrison first.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's it over there. And did we want to try to find a cloak or something for you? Or did you just want to hang back for now?
Oh, if on the way, if there's like a merchant selling lovely cloaks, I could probably pick up a cloak.
That would require a luck check, simply an unmodified roll.
17.
A window caught Ildrex's eye, a mysterious shop with stylized lettering that read...
Dave's store of fancy magic and costumes.
Sure, Dave the Magnificent store of fancy magic and costumes. Okay, you asked for it. Dave the Magnificent store of fancy magic and costumes. From inside which a very bored but eccentrically dressed human, clearly from the theater, stood smoking, nonchalantly twirling a greasy mustache and slicked back black hair.
Perhaps I will just duck into Dave's store here and see if he has something that might be fitting.
As if by magic, the living corpse of a human who worked in retail, standing before Ildrex, became instantly animated as the door opened, the gaps in their makeup made by wrinkles vanishing under the illustrious smile of Dave the Magnificent.
Good afternoon, travelers. I am Dave the Magnificent. Dramatic pause. I sense that you are here to learn the mystic arts. No, you are a mystic searching for a new outfit.
The quirky fellows sniffed the air around Ildrex before dabbing a stained napkin at their neck.
Yes, Dave. Sir Dave. I am Ildrex. I come from a long line of faux magic users. But really today I'm looking for more of a costume, and something to disguise the fact that I am of scaleskin descent.
Yes, that's what I said. And please, it's just Dave the Magnificent. But I already knew that I could help you before you entered the door.
Yes, Sir Dave.
Dave the Magnificent. I can aid you. We shall conjure a collection of silks and cloth with a high thread count that will be fitting of an emperor to mask some of your more distinctive features, and spin you like a spider queen from a pauper to a proper prince in a matter of mere minutes. Did you have anything particular in mind, or should I just do my thing? I have many ideas that could work, but as a mystic who can see the past, present, and future as one, it is always important to maintain the illusion of free will.
You know what? It's dealer's choice here, Sir Dave.
Dave the Magnificent.
Yes. Make it look fancy. I like to blend in with a fancy crowd.
A fancy crowd?
Yes.
Yes. Let me see.
Dave the Magnificent looked through a series of masks on display, one of which bore a particularly long snout. A crocodilian mask, gilded in silver.
This should work nicely.
Dave held the mask between their face and Ildrex's, making mental calculations and casting subtle cantrips to quickly heat and cool the metal, making fine-tuned adjustments to its dimensions. Glancing back at the mask, mentally measuring Ildrex's snout and smiling to themselves before passing the finished mask to Ildrex.
I think this might do, and no one will be the wiser. Yes, you will look like a crocodilian noble.
Dave pulled 2 prosthetic ears from a secret pocket in their sleeve, a strange and unexpected motion, and removed a wig from another shelf, scowling at the fro before switching to something with less bulk, and comparing it to the ears.
Okay.
Dave quickly affixed the ears to Ildrex's head with a small copper wire tied with nearly invisible fishing lines before gently covering it with a wig, using a series of clasping pins before moving the mask over Ildrex's snout.
Pretty good. Now for the neck and other visible scales.
Over the course of 15 minutes, Dave the Magnificent dressed Ildrex in ceremonial armor that was, well, very ceremonial and offered no protection. Fake silver armor, black and green velvet, and special gloves and boots that would resemble the appropriate human equivalent of fingers and feet under basic scrutiny.
Perfect.
All for the mere cost of 10 gold, which Dave the Magnificent knew you had already agreed to pay. Ildrex now resembled an eccentric human noble, or necromancer, or thespian in a fanciful scaleskin outfit, ready for a masquerade.
I pay them the 10 gold, and I am
fancy 6'7" human.
And if anyone asks, Dave the Magnificent did the work to make your tale look this realistic.
Perfect.
Welcome, fair patron!
Yes, that is exactly what we need, and I come out very, very confident that this will help.
Watch your step.
Mm-hmm.
To those present who didn't watch Ildrex's magical schoolgirl transformation from the window, it appeared that a human dressed in a fancy scaleskin costume exited the shop, but one with a familiar stature and smell of their friend Ildrex.
What do you think? How do I look?
You look fabulous.
Wait, Ildrex. If it really is you.
Stewed porcupine.
It is you. Dressed as a human. Dressed as you. Dressed as a human. Wait. Is that really what we changed it to? Stewed porcupine?
No. I love the little part that goes in front of your feet, that looks like feet.
Thank you. That's what I told him. I needed something fancy for this whatever we're doing.
Gaelle, what are we doing, and why is Ildrex dressed as a poof?
We need to find a specific soldier. It's complicated. Do you remember the tiny person you fell asleep in front of?
Barely.
Okay, right. Well, the tiny person has a brother. The brother has a husband. They went missing. The missing people had an apartment. There are new people in the apartment, and now we're finding a soldier that moved the brother's things out of the apartment and reported him missing. There we go. Caught up?
Oh, God.
Super.
Ildrex, don't move. Pedro's got to see this costume. I think it's really him. Okay, Pedro, we're just going to take this little hat off you. Ow, stop! Don't bite me. I'm trying to... Ow! Pedro. There, see? I'm just taking the hood off so you can see the... Hey, Pedro, where are you going? I really didn't like your costume. Pedro, come back! Pedro! Where are you going? I'm sure he's coming back, everyone. It's all good. It's okay. Pedro, get back on my arm! Pedro? He's just, he's just going to, stretch his wings, right? He's coming back, right, Gaelle?
I told you not to take the hood off until we finish the first part of his training.
I wanted him to see Ildrex's... Bye, Pedro.
Let's go talk to the officer.
Okay.
The team took a few remaining steps to reach the barracks and saw a number of guards sitting under a tent with a fire in its center. A dozen or so Eastmen eating a late lunch meal. One of the guards present wore a captain's tabard, and a unique golden helm sat beside his meal at the table. The sigil on his brooch bore the heraldry of a dragon's skull, with a golden spearman atop piercing through it with gusto. Without a doubt, the sigil of House Stalling, and presumably the figure must therefore have been Captain Rennis. For purposes of dramatization, the roles have been intentionally removed from this scene and a few others.
Captain Rennis, I presume?
The captain looked up from his meal with suspicion.
Who wants to know?
My apologies to interrupt your meal. We're, traveling, I guess you could call us mercenaries of a sort. We're after a group of murderers who have been through town, and while we're here, we've been investigating a few other matters. One of them, seems to involve you. Do you have a moment to speak with us?
That's a bit confusing, but we can talk, so long as you explain yourself a bit more. Even an outsider can probably tell that it's not been a day of revelry.
Certainly, we understand, and my condolences. We know we've come to the city at a dark time. We've been speaking with a gnome whose brother owned a house just not far from here, up the way. It seems the gnome was, well, we hate to accuse, forcibly relocated from its home, and the home has been given to another family, a family of work hands in service of Baron Strahl. Do you recall this?
I may know something of what you speak. What of it?
The guards in the area slowly stopped eating and shifted their focus toward their weapons.
So, if I understand correctly, is that a common practice to remove, well, I guess I would say fringe elements from their homes and give them to humans? Is that the deal?
I don't know about removing people from their homes, but if someone should leave, abandon, or vacate their home for 15 consecutive days without notice, the laws of Audin dictate that a property can be recalled by the Baron to do with as he pleases. After all, it's his city and his land. In your specific instance, I believe it was abandonment, which falls under the tenancy rules I just explained.
And this, gnome and his husband, you're saying they had left for longer than 15 days, and there's some paperwork to this effect?
They didn't properly file paperwork stating that they would be gone, and yes, abandoned the property. I would know because I personally helped clean up the mess they left behind.
I'm sure you did.
The gnome and the scaleskin, yes. The gnome was likely an elven spy, and the scaleskin was hardly more than a feral beast. I'm not sure why he was even let into Audin, and I believe there may be another gnome in the area who's been harassing people about this very issue. Maybe a spy from the east. Are you part of that?
Gaelle, you left out the part where our plan was to confront them in a barracks full of soldiers.
Yes, whoops.
With a dragonborn in a costume.
You're saying the gnome's husband was a scaleskin. Is that correct?
It was a long time ago, but that was a pretty memorable couple.
And you were personally involved in cleaning up the house after they left?
You never answered my questions. Who are you, and what is your business here?
Do you seek him?
The man's face went flush to a sickly pale.
Who are you?
Have you ever heard of the Dream Carver?
I'm so terribly sorry, Soren. I thought I heard you were killed.
I was.
Soren shifted, and the holes in his armor were plainly visible to the terrified noble.
How may I assist you?
Just answer my damn questions and act natural.
Yes. What was the next question?
Did you personally take part in the removal of the items from that home?
Personally is such an interesting term. No, I oversaw it. I was present loosely at the time when it occurred. I opened the front door, stood outside, locked up at the end. More or less.
Were any of their items kept?
Why would we do that?
Just a question.
If you let me know what you're looking for, I can perhaps be of better assistance. So, eviction law dictates that objects from an eviction must be left outside the dwelling unit and either thrown away or moved to the street side. Once it's there, it's not our problem. And from what I remember, we followed this law.
Of course. Naturally.
And should somebody wish to abandon their home, say, if they were a scaleskin, where might they end up?
I suppose they would return to the wilds. Audin is not a safe place for beasts.
Rennis glanced at Ildrex as he said this, clearly impressed by the costume, and curious about the presumed human noble beneath.
I nod back, although I have a mask face.
So, let's assume that what you said is in some way acceptable. So, hypothetically... No, I can't do this. Scaleskin are employed but have integrated very well into other human cities and cultures, so what's the problem here?
I have no problem with scaleskin, especially those born and raised in our realms. I have a problem with foreigners. Plainly put, our realm is in real danger from all sides. The world is cruel, and we don't have time to consort with, literally, cold-blooded creatures who could be spies for a dragon or a giant clan. I'm sure creatures from those places are capable of being civilized and hells friendly in some circumstances, but if you're not born in human land, you'll never understand our culture. I don't even trust humans from beyond our realms.
So would you consider yourself a hunter of creatures of the scaled variety? I don't mean to be forward, I'm just looking at your heraldry there.
My ancestors took part in the slaying of Fel Renwa, one of the first dragons, a true demigod, and some among my house bear various well-earned honorifics like Scale Slayer, Worm Slayer, or the like, but personally, no. I don't feel like risking my life in such a way. But are you, by chance, open to a job of a personal nature?
What do you have in mind?
I heard how you helped the temple a few months ago, and we need your aid again. We're very close to finishing what we started, but obstacles stand in our way, and we require a certain resource that would be easy for one such as you to acquire.
I think, maybe that's something we should discuss privately, just you and me.
I think that would be preferred.
Certainly. Is there someplace we could meet you later after your meal is done?
Yeah, there's a graveyard near here.
Captain Rennis produced his guard-issued map and made the destination clear.
That's the mausoleum for my family, House Stalling. It's quite easy to find. I'll meet you there in an hour, and we'll speak more.
Certainly. I will be very interested to see if there are any leads for me to go out hunting. I appreciate it.
A pleasure to meet you, Dream Carver.
Certainly. Enjoy yourself, and we will see you in an hour.
The team walked back the way they came, uncertain of what events Soren had just set into motion. Dark Dice, Chapter 10b, Conspiracy, featuring Jeff Goldblum as the Silent One, Peter Lewis as Soren Arkwright, Holly Billinghurst and Sean Howard as Gaelle and Glom Vogelberg, Russ D. Moore as Ildrex, Mikhail Grasegger as Sir Vinkint, Ariana Rosario as Officer Cyne, Ronald Hamrák as Helrintheenath, Russ Gold as Father Fetelsh, Tanya Wheelock as Lucas the Serving Boy, Kitty Kaboom as Swamaleskar Ikal Variasinsalar the 23rd, Barbara Ouvrard as the Old Woman, Josh Rubino as Dave the Magnificent, Sean Daniel Francis as Captain Rennis, and Travis Vengroff as Dungeon Master. This episode was produced and edited with sound design by Travis Vengroff, with mixing and mastering by Marissa Ewing of Hemlock Creek Productions. This episode featured music by Stephen Malin, Brandon Boone, and Travis Vengroff. To support this production and get access to bonus releases, music, world lore, art, and early access to future adventures and D&D materials, please join our Patreon at patreon.com/foolandscholar. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram as @DarkDicePod. This is a Fool and Scholar